questions. There are few queries in the chat, so let me just answer them and we will start. So we have already posted the second quiz, home assignment, self-assessment quiz, and you can practice that. It is again like the previous one, will be open for as many attempts as you want to do. Second, the first quiz, that is the minor exam, which will have 20% weightage. That will be, we will be posting the questions quiz next week, I think on 22nd of November. And whatever we have covered till yesterday, that is till Friday, all that will be there. So whatever we are studying now this week, there won't be any questions on that in the first minor exam. Okay. Then this minor exam will be a timed one. That means once you open the quiz, then the time starts and we will give some stipulated amount of time. We will tell you how much time is allotted. Only for that much time, the quiz will be open. Once the time is over, you will not have any access to the quiz again. So you will have to, and you can take this quiz anytime you want. So first prepare well, and once you are ready, you can take up that quiz. You can open. So it is something like mail has come to your mailbox and it has not, you have not opened it. Once you open it, the time starts. That's it. Okay, so are there any questions? Yes, and for the cardinal and ordinal numbers, etc., I have already posted the notes. You may go through them, and in case you have any doubts, we can take them up on during the discussion hours on next Saturday. Okay. Anyway, the exam will be on Monday, so you will have enough time to answer these. You will have enough time to practice the cardinals, etc. if you have any difficulties. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, I have a quick question. Will
yes.
this minor exam be objective type? Immediately you will come to know the result?
Will be. Yes, you will come to know the result immediately. Yes. Yeah. Like the self-evaluation quiz only. It will be. Well, by the way, now I would request you not to write anything in the chat box because people get distracted because of that, and we will start the session now. Over to Arjun.
This exam has to be taken only on Monday. Sorry.
As far as the examination is concerned, should be necessarily answered in 22nd itself?
Yes, whatever time, stipulated time, within that time you will have to answer the questions.
Any day, other day?
Any day you can choose. Yeah, see, that will be open for 1 week. Okay.
That is all what
on 20. Yeah, on 22nd we will post it, and by 29th, any time suitable to you, you can choose to.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Only one attempt is it for the exam?
Only one attempt. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we will give all the instructions once again once we make the question paper available to you. Okay. Okay. And yes, now over to Arjun.
Thank you. I think I share my screen. Is this visible? Hope I am audible as well.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is visible and you are audible.
Okay. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Apada Mauli Paryantam Gurunam Akritim Smaret Tena Vighnaha Pranashyanti Siddhyanti cha Manorathaha Sarva Vagishwaro Vishnuhu Stri Rupo Mam Suvadayet. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. welcome you all to this Sansadhani Praveshika course. We will be looking at morphological analyzer, another important tool today. We have discussed about the dhatu and the thing. Combination of these two will become kriyapada, and grammatical features associated with a verb, a kriyapada, which are concept of purusha, linga, prayoga, padi, and gana, including all the lakaras we have went through in the previous sessions. Today, before going into morphological analyzer, we will be looking at the concept of upasargas as well, which is known as prefix. We will look into that first, which is associated with the verb form generator. Then we will continue with the pada vishleshika, which is morphological analyzer. Concept of upasarga is an interesting topic. Okay, there are total 22 upasargas in Sanskrit. Okay, the list of upasargas will go like this: prapara, pasam, anuvava, etc., and so on. And it can associate with nouns or verbs. It can associate with any kind of word. And what is the purpose of this upasarga? And joining this prefix to a particular word, it can be noun or verb. In our today's class, we will be looking into mainly with verbs, how it associates with a verb and how forms can be generated. Okay, but main purpose of this upasarga is by adding an upasarga to a verb will completely changes the meaning of that particular verb. There is a famous shloka related to that, which is upasargat hi dhatvartah balat anyatra niyate prahara ahara samhara vihara pariharavat. Upasargat hi dhatvarto balat anyatra niyate praharahara samhara vihara pariharavat. If we have to read it as a shloka with sandhi, with inclusion of sandhi, it will be like this. If we have to split it according to the word, it will be in this way: upasargat hi dhatvartah balat anyatra niyate, and so on. So upasargat, from the upasarga dhatvartah, the meaning of a dhatu, balat anyatra niyate, it will be taken away forcefully. Okay, for example, what can be the meaning of word hara? Hara word, in a simple way, it means a garland. Okay, if we add an upasarga which is pra to that hara word, or harana is stealing, that is also there. Another, if we have to take the literal dhatvartha of hrinya dhatu, harana, stealing or to snatch, if we add pra upasarga to it, the meaning will be completely different. As mentioned earlier, it will be hitting. To hit will be the meaning. If I add ang, another upasarga, we will give the list of upasargas to you, okay, in a table form. If we add ang upasarga to the same word, same verb, harana, hara, the word hara, the meaning will be completely different. The word, what does it mean? The word ahara means food. Okay, samhara, the sam is the prefix here. It is joined with hara, and it means killing, to destroy. Okay, if the same word hara is joined with the prefix vi, I mean vi upasarga is joined with hara, vihara means to roam around. Okay, and if the same hara word is associated with the prefix pari, then it will be a solution. Okay, parihara, compensation can also be meaning of it. So how you can see, by adding different upasargas to the same verb, harana or hara, okay, the meanings were completely different. You can imagine now how this Sanskrit literature, the words in Sanskrit can be bigger. I mean, why it is in that bigger way, and it is used in different senses. Okay, we have included these upasargas, and also one more important thing is there can be combination of more than one upasargas with a word. Okay, so what we did in the verb forms generator, we added this upasargas as a separate section. We have included that. If you want to generate the forms with an upasarga, you can do so with the help of this verb form generator. Let us have a look at it. Okay, let me take you to this. Okay, we all know that in the tool section, in morphological generator section, there are noun generator, even kriya rupa nishpadika and verb forms generator. Both there are two options. For Devanagari, we can select the upper one, and the lower one can be selected for IAST, Roman diacritic fonts. So if I click on kriya rupa nishpadika, we have already discussed about Kartari Prayoga and Karmani Prayoga. Nijanta we will discuss at a later stage. It is a bit complex one, so we don't want to bring it now. Okay, so Kartari and Karmani we have discussed. I will show you some of the examples for Karmani Prayoga also, which I couldn't do due to time constraint. Today, we know about this, okay? And then there are list of upasargas. All the possible combinations are kept here in this drop-down menu. If you want to select anything, like for example, Anu, I have selected, and here I will go to Bhu. Okay, I want to say Bhavati in a sense of Anubhava. Can I form that? Yes. Bhu Sattayam is the dhatu, Bhavati, Bhavami, and so on. I added Anu upasarga to Bhu. I want to look at all the rupas of it. So Anubhavati, Anubhavataha, Anubhavanti. Aham Anubhavami, Saha Anubhavati, Atava Sa Anubhavati, Atava Tat Anubhavati, he, she, it. In that sense, you Anubhavasi, Tvam Anubhavasi. Anubhavatu, Sukham Anubhavatu. Aham Sukham Anubhavani. And in this way, we can look into the forms. When we selected Bhu Dhatu, only Bhu Dhatu, the form was Abhut. When Anu is added to that, Anu Upasarga is added, there is a Sandhi work happened. That's why the form will be Anvabhut. Anvabhut. Why that Vakara came in between, all these things we will discuss when we discuss about the concept of Sandhi. Okay, but you can see by adding Anu Upasarga to Bhu Dhatu, I can have all the 10 lakaras in all the forms along with this particular Upasarga, Anubhavati. The normal form is without Upasarga, it will be Bhavati, Bhavataha, Bhavanti, and so on. Along with
Arjun,
yes,
Arjun, will you please increase the font size?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this is fine. Yeah.
Thank you. So when I added, I want to include, it is up to me. Okay, it is up to the user. I want to add Anu Upasarga with Bhu Dhatu and want to know what all will be the form. In that case, it will be, we have to select that respective Upasarga and the desired dhatu, and we can see all the dhatus, all the forms in all the lakaras. And Abhibhavati, that is also another thing in the sense of taking birth. Okay, Abhibhavati or to become, okay, in a different form. Abhibhavati is a the word which is used, okay, and the forms will be in all the lakaras in this way, okay. Similarly, the renew which we discussed will show you okay, Harani. Okay, so let me take a new one. Pra upasarga I have taken, and rin harani dhatu, praharati, praharataha, praharanti. In all the lakaras, we can see the different forms, how it will be. If we have to look into the V, will be viharati, viharami, vijahara, viharta, and so on. Paryanuharati. I think there is, we cannot have these two with this. Maybe I will go to.
So the question is, you said there are 22 upasargas. Okay. Now, is there any restriction that some verbs will have some set of upasargas, or can any verb take any upasarga?
No.
So this upasarga, well, before that, something reminds me. See, even in English, we have such usages, yes. Like I can have look for, look at, okay, or I can say look into. This use, and we see that in English also the meaning totally changes. So yes, these upasargas in a sense are something similar to this kind of usages in English: look down, look away, look through, look at, look for, and so on. So yes, similarly here you have re dhatu is there, and you have pra or ang, etc. But these are the prefixes, not the post. They don't come after the verb, but they come before the verb. Yes. Now the question is, can we have each of these upasargas with the dhatu? And the answer definitely is no, isn't it? Yes, yes. Because in English also, you have taken an example from English, look for, look into, and those are post suffixes. But if you take the prefixes in English, like dependent, I can't say undependent. I have to, if I have to add. No. Let us not go in those prefixes. Okay. See, these at, into, etc. Whatever is the function of these. It is similar in English. Similar function is of these prefixes. Yes. And with every verb, we cannot have each of the prefixes. Yes. Only some combinations are allowed. Yes. Now, which combinations are allowed and which are not, we need to depend on the dictionary, right? Yes. But then you were taking two prefixes. So yes, that means pari and anu. That means, and here also I see there is a combination of nir, ava. Just let us walk through this list. Yes. Start from the beginning. Okay. So we have adhi, and then adhi and ava. These are two prefixes. Adhi and ang, another two prefixes, and so on. So like this, we have some combinations which are given here. Not all combinations are meaningful. So though we have 22 prefixes, 22 into 21, these many combinations are not there. And actually, I think we can have even 3, 4, or 5 prefixes also, a combination of sequence of 4, 3, 4, 5, etc. But then we will have to we will have to go to the dictionary and take help of the dictionary to know which combinations are possible with which verb, etc.
Yes.
And here I would say we will wait for a few more days when Professor Hewitt will explain his dictionary interface, where he provides all this information at one go.
Okay.
So there we will have complete information about which verbs take which prefixes and which combinations and all that. Okay. And we will also look at another dictionary interface for Apte, where we can have this information, but let us just wait for those details. So these questions are popping up, and therefore I'm answering these questions. Okay, you can go ahead with this now.
Okay, so you know how to add upasargas. Maybe with the simple ones, you can like praharati, apaharati, anubhavati. These kind of explorations you can do with the verb forms generator. As I said, we will go through the about this, the combinations of which all upasargas can be associated with which dhatus and all will be discussed at a later stage. So I think I should go to the morph analyzer part there. Okay, let me come back to the presentation. Here, what morphological analyzer does? It analyzes any given Sanskrit word. Imagine you are reading, you have already with the by going through some sadhana tools, you have already used noun forms generator, verb forms generator. You have seen many different forms. Okay, if you want to, while we were explaining, we said there are many concepts which are associated with Kriyapada and Namapada are discussed, right? There are these many concepts are associated with those padas. Can you remember all those concepts all together in your mind at this stage and start reading a Sanskrit text? It would be little difficult. You can do that at a later stage by practice, but at the beginning you may need some help, where you can get all these analysis done automatically and presented to you, which will help you in learning Sanskrit in a better way. Okay, this morphological analyzer tool does that particular work for you. It analyzes any given word. For example, in the case of nouns, I have given a particular shloka which has only nouns in it. Okay, Arjuna Palguna Partha Kiriti Shvetavahanaha Bibhatsur Vijayo Krishnaha Sabyasachi Dhananjaya. These are the 10 different names of Madhyama Pandava Arjuna, who was in not me, the Dwapara Yuga Arjuna. Okay, all these 10 names are in Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana Pullinga. This I know because I have studied it. For people who are seeing it, looking at this particular word, that too every word doesn't have the same anta letters. There are Kiriti is there, Bibhatsuhu is there, Sabyasachi is there. So I'm saying that these are all in Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. And the Pratipadikas of all these nouns are little different. Okay. So this information I'm sharing with you, so you know that. But if you are experiencing, if you are reading this particular shloka for the first time, you may not able to know which particular vibhakti or vachana these words are in. So you may go to morphological analyzer, give these words, and you can get the pratipadika of that particular word, the vibhakti of that particular word, vachana of that particular word, and the gender of that particular word which is associated with nouns. We discussed that what are the grammatical features associated with a noun. All these grammatical aspects will be analyzed and presented to you. In the case of verbs, babhuva bhut bhaved gachet paripruchantu modatam alikhantu vivardhasva kadantu anubhavantu cha. In this, all babhuva, abhut, bhaved, gachet, all are different verb forms. If you want to know which lakara, in which purusha, in which vachana, these are all present, you can get the analysis in morphological analyzer. In this particular shloka, in both the shlokas, each and every word can be an input for morphological analyzer. Okay. In the case of Namapada, it analyzes, it gives you the Pratipadika, Linga, Vachana, and Vibhakti, as I said earlier. In the case of Kriyapada, it gives you which dhatu is there, what is the Purusha, what is the Lakara, what is the Prayoga, and what is the Padim. All this information is given. Let us look at this morphological tool in Sansadhani. Okay, here in the tool section, the first tool is morphological analyzer. We go there. The interface will be like this. Let me show you once. This will be the interface. Okay, input encoding, output encoding, we all are familiar with. So we choose whichever encoding is familiar to us, and then we will type Arjunaha. When I typed Arjunaha, it gives me, oh, Arjuna is the Pratipadika, Pum is the Linga, one refers to Vibhakti, and Eka refers to Vachana. If you want to know...
just 1 minute, Arjun. So
yes,
this means now I need not memorize all those tables which you showed.
No.
Right? So
no.
Machine just give the word Arjuna and machine Arjunaha, and machine is showing all the analysis.
Yes.
Great. So I can give any word like Arjunena, Arjunaya, Arjunat, anything, right?
Anything. Arjune, I gave.
Okay.
It gives me,
there are several analysis. Okay. So we will go one by one. So let us first choose only those words which are not ambiguous and which have only one analysis.
Okay.
And then we will go to these multiple analysis. Why there are multiple analysis, we'll see later.
Okay. In Arjunaya is also there. Maybe Arjunan. Oh, maybe I will go through all those words which are presented in the
okay, you just go ahead with Arjunaha. You were saying something. Falgunaha.
Yeah. Falgunaha. If I give, it gives me, there are multiple analysis here also, but this is the required one, Falguna, Pullinga, Ekavachana. Now, if we want to look at the other Vibhakti, all the forms related to this Falguna word, if we click on this, it will take us to, this. I mean, it generate. We can see all the forms related to this Falguna Pratipadika in a single click. Okay, it will take us and it will show the declension table of the Pratipadika Falguna. Now, if we want to look at the meaning of this particular word, you have to click here, which will. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. If we go to Update Dictionary, Falgun Kamina, Indrika Namanda, and so on. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Shweta Vahanaha. this one is an interesting entry, because Shvetavanaha is a compound word. Actually, in morphological analyzer, we are compound words are not analyzed. But this compound word, Shvetavahanaha, which means white vehicle, a person who has white vehicle. Okay. So this particular word was present in dictionary. That's why it analyzed this given word, Shvetavahanaha. Otherwise, any compound word, if you give as an input to this morphological analyzer, it won't analyze. If it is analyzing, it means there is an entry for this particular word in our dictionary, one of the dictionaries which are present there. Okay. Even we can look at Bibatsuhu. Okay, it is present there. Again, it gave me this. Maybe I can try here. Bibatsoho. Bibatsoho is in Pullinga only, but in Panchami Vibhakti and this Shashti Vibhakti. In both the cases, Bibatsoho is a common form in Ekavachana. So that is presented. Okay, that is both the analysis of that particular word is displayed by this morphological analyzer. Now, if we go to the verbs which were used, babhuva, I gave maybe no. Let me start with abhut, because babhuva has multiple analysis in the lit only. See, when I gave abhut, it said bhu is the dhatu and it is in kartari prayoga. Lung is the lakara. Prathama purusha. Okay, here it is not vibhakti is you mentioned displayed in with numbers. Okay, pra refers to prathama purusha, eka refers to vachana, and which padin it is in, parasmaipada or parasmaipadi dhatu or atmanepadi dhatu. It is parasmaipadi. And what is the dhatu? According to the dhatu pata, it is dhatuhu bhu, and which gana it is in? Vadihi. Vadi is the gana where this bhu dhatu is present. Now, okay, we came to know about this particular words analysis. Now I want to look into all the forms. What I should do, I must click on this hyperlink dhatu bhu, which will take to, it generates all the forms of in all the lakaras. Okay. Sorry for this trouble. And Gatti. Gam is the dhatu in kartari prayoga, vidhiling lakara, prathama purusha, ekavachana, parasmaipadi. Dhatu is gamulr is the dhatu, and bhwadi is the gana. Gamulr is the dhatu which is present in dhatu pata. Okay, but gama is the dhatu in general. And let me take another one. It not only analyzes the parasmaipadi dhatu, it analyzes atmanepadi dhatu as well. That is another example. Okay, I wish to give vivardhasva. Oops. Have given vardhasva is the dhatu. Okay, I have added V upasarga into it, and then I submitted that particular word which analyzed as V underscore vrudh, means vrudh is the dhatu, but it is with a prefix V. Okay, that information is given in this analyzer. And Kartari prayoga is Kartari, Lakara is Lord, Ma refers to Madhyama Purusha. Okay, and Ekavachana is the Vachana Atmanepadi, which is the dhatu presented in Dhatu Pata. It is Vrudhu. Okay, and it is part of Bhwadi Gana. The class of this particular dhatu is Bhwadi. Okay, Vivardhasva and maybe Paripruchatu. Paripruchantu. Okay, it analyzed as Pari Upasarga Sahita. Prach is the dhatu. Prayoga is Kartari, Lakara is Lord. Pra refers to Prathama Purusha. Bahu refers to Bahuvachana. And Parasmipati it is. Dhatu is Pracha. And sorry, Tudari is the Gana class, which where this Prach dhatu belongs to. If I click on this, what happens? We all know that it generates all the 10 forms, all the 10 lakaras with Pari Upasarga. Okay. Now, let me look at the very famous example, which is Rama. Okay. When I click submit, it gives me, oh, there are two analyses, that too in two different colors. Okay, one says Rama is the root word. Okay, looking at the analysis, we can know, oh, it is related to noun. Okay, Rama is the Pratipadika, Pum refers to Linga, Pullinga, one refers to Prathama Vibhakti, and Eka refers to Ekavachana, right? There is an analysis in noun form. Ramaha word is used in a sense of noun, and also there is another analysis for this Ramaha word as a Kriyapada also, where Ra dhatu, Prayoga is Kartari, Lat is the Lakara, Uttama Purusha, Bahuvachana form will be Ramaha. I think you might think there might be a mistake. No. If we click on that to make sure that form is present there, we can click on that where it says Rati Rataha Ranti, Rasi Rataha Ratha, Rami Ravaha Ramaha. It is present there in the Radhatu, right? So Ramaha, word Ramaha has two analyses, one as a noun, another as a verb. Okay, such if a word has more than one analysis, also this analyzer identifies it and present it to us, which will help us to know in what context this word is used and what can be the different meanings associated with this word. And based on the context, we can decide which, Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. In this sentence, Ramaha cannot be the verb, right? So Ramaha is a person. We are referring to the person Rama. So it can be a noun. So Ramaha will be, this analysis is what required for us. We will be satisfied with this analysis. Okay. This is one case. Okay, I mentioned a word, a sentence, Ramaha Vanam Gacchati. Let me give that word, Gacchati, which is to go, right? Saha Gacchati, Sa Gacchati, or Tat Gacchati. He, she, it, in that sense, Gacchati. But when I give Gacchati, it gives me three analyses. One is what the desired one, which is gam is the dhatu. In Ramaha vanam gacchati, that gacchati word means action, right? Going, which must be analyzed as gam is the root word, kartari is the prayoga, lat prathama purusha ekavachana parasmaipadi, mula dhatu is gamalr, and it belongs to Vadi class, right? But it also gives in this color, which means you might have already guessed that if it is in red color, or light red, that is related to Kriya Pada. Okay, it means it is that word is in verb form. If it is in this color, light green color, or I'm sorry, I'm for it identified colors. This light green color, if it is, that means it is this word belongs to noun category. Okay, so but in noun category also there are two analyses. Okay, why two? Earlier Ramaha was, when we looked into the Ramaha word, there were two analyses. One was noun as noun, another one as verb. But here in the noun form, there are two analyses for gacchati. What are those? I mean, if we look into that, it looks same, but there is a difference. What it is? Gacchat is the pratipadika of namupada, gacchati. Okay, that is same, but linga is different. The gacchati will be the form in pullinga and napumsakalinga. Both the linga, in both the lingas, gacchati will be the common form. Okay, ekavachana, saptami vibhakti, kridanta. Oh, this looks like a new concept for us, right? Krit dhatu gam. Kridanta is a new concept. You might have explored in the tools section in morphological generator. We have Kridanta Rupa Nishpadika and Tadita Rupa Nishpadika, right? We will come to this section later, but when there are some suffixes, list of suffixes which belongs to a category called Krit. Okay, all are those suffixes are called Krit suffixes, which will be attached or which will added to a particular dhatu, and it forms a new pratipadika. We will come to that later in the maybe in the next class or the later class. But there is a this is, you just stick to this particular concept. It is a kridanta word. Okay, this is a kridanta word. And what is the krit suffix I was referring to here? It is shatru is the pratyaya name. The name of that pratyaya here is shatru pratyaya. And that pratyaya it has a tag of krit suffix tag. Okay, so krit anta, at the end of this gamudatu, this shatru pratyaya added, and it forms this pratipadika gachat. And once it is formed, I mean, it is in that pratipadika form, it can be used in the sense of pullinga or in napumsakalinga also. Okay, so we will discuss this concept of kridanta very soon. You will, I mean, your doubts will be clear. But just for the sake of understanding the analysis part, the analyzer tool, you just assume these are kridanta forms. Okay, now let's go to the Arjunaya, which we saw earlier, which had several analyses, right? Arjunaya had two analyses. Here it is clear. Okay, Arjuna is the pratipadika, which is in pullinga and napumsakalinga. Both it is used. Chaturthi vibhakti ekavachana will be, the vibhakti and vachana will be same here. Why Arjuna? We all know he is a man very famous during the Mahabharata time. But why it is a napumsakalinga is also there? Because this word Arjuna in the dictionary is used for another object which is in Napumsakalinga. Okay. So if we refer to the dictionary, we will come to know why this word is in Napumsakalinga. I will check the Arjune, which had several analyses. Now you might be knowing why these many analyses were given. Okay, all are nouns only. We know that, right? Because of the color, we know all are nouns only, but vibhaktis and the lingas and the vachanas are different. In Pullinga, Saptami Vibhakti, Ekavachana, the form will be Arjune. In the Napumsakalinga, okay, in the Napumsakalinga, Prathama Vibhakti, Dvivachana, the form will be Arjune. Okay, in Napumsakalinga, Dvitiya Vibhakti, Dvivachana, the form will be Arjune. In Napumsakalinga, Saptami Vibhakti, Ekavachana, the form will be Arjune. Similarly, in Sambodhana Prathama Vibhakti, Dvivachana, Strilinga Prathama Vibhakti, Dvivachana, Strilinga Dvitiya Vibhakti, Dvivachana, the form will be Arjune. But even the Pratipadikas, you can see Arjuna in Pullinga and Napumsakalinga, the Pratipadika will be Arjuna. But in the Strilinga, it will be Arjuna. Okay.
So yes, so Arjun, here I would like to say something.
Sure.
This is something which is a peculiarity of our tools. We are saying Arjuna is the Pratipadikam. Actually, according to Panini's grammar, the Pratipadikam is Arjuna only, to which some feminine suffix is added and it becomes Arjuna and the forms change, etc. So if you look at the Monier-Williams dictionary for Arjuna, you just click on it and go to the Monier-Williams dictionary entry. You will see there are, it says it is an adjective, masculine, feminine and neuter. So it has forms in all the three genders because it's an adjective, and the meaning is white, clear, and so on, of the lightning, of the milk, of silver, etc. White as of the milk, something like that. If you go to Apte's dictionary, in Apte's dictionary, you have only neuter gender as the ghas, that is the grass. Okay, this is the meaning in neuter gender. Now we need to see why in Monier-Williams dictionary whether this meaning is there or not. So these are some of the things. This meaning is something which is rare also as a neuter gender. As a masculine, we know it refers to the person Arjun from the Pandavas. Okay, so okay, so now shall we, do you want to say anything more, or shall we take questions, Arjun?
Yes, we can take questions. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, fine. So there are already a few hands raised. Yes, Christian.
Oh, just a minute. I have. Now you can.
Christian,
unmute.
you can. Yeah, Christian, you can. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun, for this presentation. I have two questions. The first is, if the upasarga that is added to the dhatu does not really change the ending, the word, the verb form, what is the purpose actually of adding all the upasargas in that tool?
Okay, you want me to answer?
Okay, okay, I will answer it.
Yeah.
Well, so when the prefixes are added to verbs, sometimes the padi changes. So if the dhatu is parasmay pada, if dhatu takes parasmay pada suffixes, when the prefix is added, sometimes it takes only atmanepad suffixes. So there is this change in the pada, and therefore we are, and Also, if somebody wants to know what are the forms and with the sandhi, because sandhi also sandhi takes place when prefix is added to a verb, and therefore we have shown these. Otherwise, there is not much point in showing all the forms. You are
So
right.
if I did I understand correctly, the first reason was that if certain verbs that get what is it, that are in Parasmaipada, they get another another ending.
Atmanepada. Yeah. The
Thing.
yes.
Thing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. The thing suffix, the set of thing suffixes, they change. So
depending on the upasarga.
Depending on the upasargas. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
That is one reason. And another reason is
the
sandhi takes place.
Yeah. But the sandhi, I think that for that it's much, because anyway, unless we are writing ourselves in Devanagari or in Sanskrit, then anyway we need to use the to know the rules of Sanskrit, of sandhi anyway. Otherwise, it's impossible to.
Right. Sure.
So my second question was then in the example that Professor Arjuna gave with the gam dhatu. Then he said that the dhatu is gam, but in the dhatu pada it's called gamrlu.
Yes, gamrlu.
So what is going on there?
Well, all these dhatus, when Panini lists them in the dhatu patha, he attaches some letters. Either he prefixes or he adds them as suffix, or sometimes both prefix and suffix. And these prefixes and suffixes which are added to the dhatu, they actually refer to certain morphological operations. So those are meant for the derivation purpose. So if you are deriving the forms following Panini's Ashtadhyayi, Panini's sutras, then you should know which letter is attached to the dhatu. Say, for example, kru has du and nya. So du is a prefix, nya is a suffix, and dhatu is kru. Now du has certain function. So because of du, certain morphological operations take place. Because of nya, some morphological operations take place when we form various forms of kru in either with ting or with krut suffix, etc. So for that purpose, these are there. So these are something like the markers. These are called actually anubandhas or it markers. So it's something like I can say it is an object where the, I don't know, I need not go in all these details. Okay, I stop.
So it sounds like a little bit advanced Sanskrit.
Yeah,
so we don't need to worry about it now.
You need not worry about all these things at this point in time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is only for those who want to derive the verbal forms from this dhatu. Not for us who are just depending on the machine to show us all the forms.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Kausalya?
Yes, ma'am. I have 3 questions. So Arjun sir showed that an plus abhavat becomes anvabhavat. So I want to know whether upasarga is added after lakara is formed, or the
very good question. Yeah, very good question. So actually, if we look at the meaning part of it, then upasarga is added to the dhatu first. Okay, from the meaning point of view. But if you look at the process that undergoes following Panini, then it is other way.
Okay, so it
But
is anu
we are-
plus abhavat. So
Yes.
bhu dhatu first becomes
Abhavat, and then
abhavat.
anu is added. Yes.
Anu is
yes.
added.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then this led to me the next question. So that is the dhatu is formed, then it is decided whether it is atmane or parasme. Is it because ji dhatu, if I add v, it becomes vijayati, and para, if I add, it
Yes.
becomes parajayate. So
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 see, this is something a complicated process. You are going in the details of how Panini does it. Okay, and of course,
Okay.
from the user's point of view also, how should we remember this? So para plus g, this is in Atmanepada. This will be there in the dictionary. Okay, so dictionary will tell us whether it is in Atmanepada or Parasmepada. And once we know whether it is Parasmepada or Atmanepada, then we add the Parasmepada or Atmanepad suffixes to the main verb, and then we do the sandhi with the prefix.
Okay, so my question is actually, so I tried for G dhatu. So G and then I chose Upasarga as V and Kartari Parasmepadi. So that worked. But when I tried G dhatu with Para and tried Kartari Parasmepadi or Kartari Atmanipadi, I got only an empty table. So I was not sure whether I am searching it.
No, so Kartari Atmanepad, it should be, if it is not there, maybe in our dictionary, it's in our database, it is not there. Is
No,
it
I think,
plus?
it is because G Jaye and G Abhibhave are in two different senses. This G dhatu is used.
Okay.
Because of that, I think.
Can we try with both, sir? Because I remember just now I was trying. I tried for both and I got only an empty table. I mean, I just got only one line. Yeah, I just got only this.
So this means there is something incompleteness of our data. Okay, of our generator. Okay.
Okay, so the last question is on the morphological analyzer. I tried to use Avagatam. So, and it gave me 3 answers, Avagat. So, but when I clicked on all of those Avagat, I did not get any, I mean, sir, this is on morphological analyzer,
Okay.
sir.
So, Arjun, will you please go to morphological analyzer, Avagatam. See, Avagatam, again, this is something which is a Krudanta. This is...
yes. So it showed me 3, but whatever I clicked,
so
it didn't work for me. So can you click on Avagata?
So there is this. See, this is a Krudanta, and these Krudanta forms are not generated. Okay. So there are some these incompleteness in the in these tools.
So my question is because so how do I know whether I made mistake or
okay, fine. Yeah, good question. So now this Avagatam machine has given the analysis. Now you should know what is the meaning of Avagatam, right? And this meaning is not available here, but whatever analysis machine has given, that one is correct. All the 3 analyses are correct. Now, since you do not know what is the meaning of Krudanta, etc., you will not get the meaning of what is the meaning of Avagata from this. We will be looking at the meaning of the. Okay, so the meaning of Avagata is known, conceived, learned, etc. It has not shown the forms, but the meaning is here available. Okay. No, in Amarkosha, in Amarkosha also we have Avagata as Pratipanna, Vidita, Manita, etc. But it's not there in Apte's dictionary, and this is the reason why my machine has not shown this because my machine actually uses Aptej dictionary at the back end, and in Aptej dictionary we didn't get the entry for Avagata, and therefore I didn't, the machine didn't show all the forms, while the entry is there in Monier-Williams as well as in Amarkosha, and of course other heritage also we can see. Does this answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Next one is Premalata.
Namaste. I have a bunch of questions, just 3 questions. Okay, so Amba ma'am was telling that multiple prefixes can be used in with a word.
Yeah.
I saw only 2 combinations. Can I use the machine to find out words which have got more than 2 upasargas? Right now, I cannot think of any example, but is it possible to find a word which has got more than 2 upasargas?
Well, right now, these tools cannot are not useful for finding these. But if you have the dictionary on your machine, and if you know a little bit of regular expressions, then you can search such things in Aptej dictionary. Right now, immediately one example that I remember is Samabhivyahara. So Sama, Abhi, Vi, A, and then Ru is there, Ru Dhatu. Samabhi Vyahara, where 4 prefixes are used. Okay. And there will be many examples where 3 or 4 prefixes, 3 prefixes at least are used. I think I have come across one example with 5 prefixes also, but these are very rare. 2 prefixes are very common. 3 and 4 are rare. 5 is just exceptional, 1 or 2 examples. Okay.
Okay. So while Arjun ji was showing Ramaha, Gachati, all those forms, I was a little curious and I tried a few words from Vishnu Sahasranamam. Okay, so Vishnu, Vashatkaro, Bhuta Bhavya. Till that much I did. So Vishnu, I did not have any problem. But when I did Vashatkaro, I did not get the Rupam. And then I had to go back, and then I tried Vashat, and then I tried Karo, and then tried to mix both of them, Vashatkaro and all that. And then that's how I tried. And Vashatkaro, Bhuta Bhavya. That means in short, we need to know that Vashatkaro means Vashat and Karaha. Vashatkaro, that kind of. So is there any way in that machine that if I put Vashatkaro, I'll get at least some indication or some marker as to it can be what is that compound word?
Yes, madam. So
okay.
Just wait for a few more days.
Okay, so that is possible. All right, okay.
And
so
yeah, it is possible. And very soon, Professor Jerahue will be demonstrating, will be telling us about the tools which help you in splitting Sandhi also. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Dhanyawad. That's that. And then my last question is, see, with Ram Kridayam. Sorry, Ram Kridayam.
Ramu Kridayam. Yes,
Ramu
Kridayam.
Ramu Kridayam. Okay, Ramlu Kridayam. Ramlu Kridayam. You use Subantam, you get Ramaha, and you add Tigantam, you get Ramati. So I put Ram over there. I did not get that kind of in this morphological analysis. I did not get that kind of an analysis. Is there any tool? Will your tool? Is there any part in your tool that will help me understand like that?
Yeah. So for Ramaha, for Rama, you want this Ram plus Ghai, and this is the Krudanta. We will see when we go for Krudanta. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And Vashatkara, it has done. Vashatkara, it has analyzed.
No, okay. I got Vashatkara. Varatkara.
No, it is Vashatkara. Okay.
Okay, then maybe I typed it wrong. Maybe. Okay, I'll again type. Okay. Dhanyawad.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shekhar Wadekar.
Thank you. Quick question. You used the example earlier from English: look for, look into, look at,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah.
And what it turns out is that all those prepositions come after the verb, and they're standalone prepositions. Add, for, into.
Yeah.
Is that the case with the upasargas in Sanskrit? Are they standalone? Well, in Sanskrit,
yes, in
prepositions.
okay. So in Vedic Sanskrit, we find some incidences, but later on, in classical Sanskrit, we always see them together. We don't see them separated with space.
That's right. But are they by themselves standalone prepositions in a different sense? Like, we're when we say look at in English, that at
yes,
can be used.
there are some usages in Sanskrit also, like anu, etc. And there is a lot of discussion on what is the meaning of these, and so on. There are some such usages where they are standalone.
But in classical Sanskrit, the upasargas cannot be separated from the verb, but in Vedic they could be.
Yeah, there are some instances in Vedic Sanskrit where they are separated.
Thank you.
Chandru Sharma.
Madam.
Namaste.
In this today's quiz, there was a question like, which of the thing forms are wrong?
Sir, regarding the quiz, shall we have it on Saturday?
My question is not on that. So if you put a word like, say, gamate or bhavati in morphological analysis, will it show me whether it has a thing form or not?
Yeah, yes. Bhavati.
Bhavati, it is actually.
Bhavati.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if it is Bhavati, will it show me whether it has got a thing form?
So Bhavati is an incorrect word.
Right.
Okay.
So for that, I have
Madam, actually what was given was Bhavati, not Bhavati.
I'm sorry, it looks
I'm
like
answering
Bhavati.
his question.
Bhavati.
That
is what is given.
If I have understood,
but it's not a
1 minute. If I have understood the question correctly, if I mistype it or if I give wrong entry, whether it says it is wrong. Is that your question, Maria?
No. See, if I say gamate with te, it looks like an Atmanipadi ending. Because there is te, like gamete. So I thought gamate could be right word. So if I put gamate, will it show me that no, this is a wrong word,
Yes,
or this is not
it
a
is
thing
saying
form?
it says no answer found. So as far as machine, whatever dictionary machine has failed to analyze this word.
So I have to use the morphological analyzer for finding such things, right?
Well, so so far when we taught you the generator, we expected that you do some, you practice these forms, try to memorize them, and you might have found that it is not that easy to memorize the things. And when such questions are asked, whether this gamate is correct or wrong, you will find it difficult to answer such questions, right? And here the morphological analyzer helps you.
Okay, that is my question. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. So essentially morphological analyzer is now helping you in improving your memory. So you have the secondary memory now. You need not depend on your own memory. You have the secondary memory. Go and search, take the help of this, and machine will help you.
I understand. Thank you.
Next is Patke, Manjari Patke.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to know if the morphological analyzer will help us in identifying the compounded words.
As of now, this morphological analyzer does not help in giving the analysis of compounded words, but there is another tool which we will introduce, and where you can you will get the analysis of compound words also.
Okay, because sometimes we come across a big word which we don't identify whether it is a compound or if it is a...
Right. So yes, so for all these things there is a tool, and we will be introducing you to that tool at the end of this month, so please bear with us.
Okay, thank you. And one more question.
I'm happy that you have so many demands and we have so much work to do. Okay, please go ahead.
Another one is I just entered the word athya in the morphological analyzer, and it just gave me the answer as athya avya. So avya, does it mean avya?
Avyaya. Yeah, it is avyaya. Yes.
Okay.
Avya means avyaya.
Okay, so avya, athya is an avyaya.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Sumukh.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
Sumukh.
Namaste, ma'am. Actually, in morphological analyzer, I want to analyze a word called Dyoti.
Dyoti.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not able to get it.
Yes, it's not a correct word.
It must be Dyoti.
It is Dyoti.
Actually, it's in a shloka. It reads as follows: Udayaravi sahasra dyotitam ruksha viksham, and it is Dyoti in that shloka.
No, it is Dyotitam is there, no?
Yes, ma'am. Dyoti.
Okay.
Dyotita. Okay. So we will have to see. Please send us the shloka and then we will see. Or anybody else can help in this, if Pawan can help in this. Or Malay.
Actually, I think Arjuna sir can. It is written by Narayana Panditacharya, Narsimhastuti.
Okay, but Jyotitan, it's a compound word, but in the case of Jyotita, it is a Kridanta word. Okay, so I think there is one other suffix. Case of Jyotita, it is ta pratyaya only. I am not sure why it is not showing, because normally the tanta word will be present.
Yeah. So first thing we have to see how to split that given shloka, whether Dyotitam is, but somehow the machine is not recognizing Dyotitam. We will have to use some other tools. We will introduce very soon to other tools where the tools are complete compared to there is a lot of incompleteness in these tools. We will be introducing you very soon to other set of tools.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Where there will be completeness. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question? Yes, Christian, you have one more question.
Yeah, this is a rather general question. I was just wondering, in Sanskrit literature, how flawless are the compositions in terms of, just like the example, how often does it occur that the authors of the text actually didn't know by heart all the rules and make some mistakes? Is that completely improbable, or does it happen also in classical Sanskrit literature?
Yeah. So there are some cases where there are word forms which are not derivable according to Panini's method. Okay. So I will not say they are flaw. They are with flaw. The author has used it, and maybe in those days that form is prevalent or in use. So for example, in Ramayana, we will see several words. Now by several, I mean 1 or 2%, which cannot be derived following Panini's grammar. So our tools at present can analyze only the words which are derived from following Panini's grammar. So there will be some such words, and for such words, we in some cases we try to give the analysis manually. We have crafted the analysis and we give the analysis without following the Panini's grammar. Typically, post Panini, we do not find such examples, or if at all they are there, then they will be very rare. So in such cases, if you are reading a manuscript or editing a manuscript, then typical approach is to look for the typing mistakes or the mistakes which typically a scribe will do, and try to change the spelling and see if you can get a correct word there. Okay.
Akshauhini will be an example. Akshauhini is it used.
Yeah. So yes, right. So there are some such words. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
May I intervene here, Madam?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, please go ahead, sir. You are welcome.
Yes. I would like to point out that one of the difficulties of reading Sanskrit text that you may find on the web or in books is that there may be some ambiguity as to whether it is Samhitapada or
Padapatha.
Padapatha, because sometimes the editor of the text will have removed the sandhi, and sometimes they don't. And so you have to make sure whether the sandhi is done or undone, because our tools will not give the same result, and our tools may fail if they believe that it's Padapatha and actually the sandhi has been done. Okay, and the worst is when the text is of ambiguous character, that is, sandhi has been removed only partially. Then you have to fiddle with the text in order to restore either the Padapatha or the Samhitapada text. This is one of the difficulties. I would say this is a greater difficulty than actually rare words that do not occur.
Yeah.
Very
Thank you, Gerard. Yes, Christian, please.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just saying that's very interesting to know. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next is Smriti Shri.
Yeah, ma'am. So I had this doubt when sir was using this word kachati in morphological analyzer. When it said it is like both pullinga and napumsakalinga. So is that like the word itself can be used in both lingas, or the word itself has linga by itself?
No, the word. Now, for that, first we will have to understand what that gachat is, and then we will explain what is it. So this gachat, in gachat, there is one shatru pratyaya which is used. That shatru pratyaya means the one who is going. If I want to translate it into, say, English, so gachan is the one who is going. Gachan balakaha, the boy who is going. Similarly, we can have gachat used for a neuter gender also. Okay, so it can be an adjective for a neuter gender also, and the pratipadikam is same. Pratipadika does not change there.
Okay, but if I'm using like Sita Gachati, that is also a sentence, right? So will it not include feminine? Then like the Gachati one.
Just a minute. You are confusing between Gachati and Gachati. It said there are 3 analyses.
No, 2 analysis.
There were 3 analyses of Gachati. Arjun, will you please show that? There are 3 analyses of Gachati. One is Gachati as a verb. Gam is the dhatu. The third one. Gam dhatu kartari lat pratham purush ekvachan. So this says that this is the verbal form.
About the verb,
So you can use it as Sita gachati, Rama gachati, Pustakam gachati, or Vanam gachati, whatever. So now the other 2 forms, gachat with Pullinga Saptami Vibhakti Ekvachana and Napunsaka Saptami Ekvachana. We have not discussed what is the meaning of these. We will discuss it next time. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So this has nothing to do, this does not mean that Gachat will be only with Pullinga and Napunsaka. This Gachat is totally different. It is in blue color. Blue color says it is a noun. So what is the meaning of noun whose form is Gachat? We will try to understand that next time. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other hand is raised?
Ma'am, I have a quick question for you.
Yes, just a minute. No, just madam, please wait. Yes, Smriti Shri. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, Premalata ji.
Ma'am, I've got a quick question for you. In that, when we did with IIT, when we were doing
Roorkee.
Roorkee, you had given us a project, Kumara Sambhava or something we had to take out, and we had to analyze some slokas. So will we have a similar project in this course as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is Patke, Manjari Patke again.
Yes, ma'am. I have some further query about Etya only, as it was showing Etya as an avyay, but it does not.
Your voice is not audible, madam. You are muted.
Sorry.
Please.
No, it's regarding Etya only, as the analyzer was showing it as an avyay, but it does not appear as an indeclinable in Apte dictionary also and in Monier-Williams also. So how is it that it is not shown as an avyay? Does it have anything to do with Ina Gatau?
Yes. Yeah. This is an indeclinable. In Monier-Williams, you will see the entry having come near. So you are right. It is Ina Gatau, and then yeah, please type Etya. Yeah.
It shows an avyay here.
Yes.
Yeah, but in Apte it is it's not given as an.
No, in Apte it is not given, but in Monier-Williams you will see the meaning. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, meaning is there. Achha, it's indeclinable only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
So
this indeclinable is this indeclinable is an indeclinable derived from a verb, as you have rightly pointed out.
Okay.
Lep pratyay is added to in the dhatu and it formed
okay. But it doesn't have a upasarga. Then how come lep is used?
It is there, ma'am. A and E becomes A, and then lep is added.
Oh, okay.
A, E will become A.
Okay.
Then lep pratyay is added. But it is, I mean, bit complicated, so we didn't discuss that when you asked this.
Okay, okay, fine. So A plus E and then Lyab has been added. Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, next one is Anne Mary.
Namaste, can you hear me?
Yes.
I typed the Nirmagna It's from Lalita Sahasranam, and it doesn't give any nirmagna. Even in, and I found out it's an adjective.
Yes, it is an adjective.
So it doesn't. It's with a in the long a, dirgha a, nirmagna. I typed nirmagna. I don't know the pratipadika or.
Well, again, this may be an example of incompleteness, and we will very soon introduce you to other set of tools where there is no such incompleteness.
Thank you. And about Shatru, Mr. Arjun said it is pratyaya, but it was not on the list of pratyayas.
It is a krut pratyaya. It is a krut pratyaya, and we have not yet looked at that one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, any other queries? Otherwise, we will. I think no other queries, no hands raised.
Madam,
okay.
Madam, one thing,
yes.
That gachat, Shatrupacham, why Srilinga is not shown, gachanti?
No, because in gacchati, there won't be Sriling. In Sriling, it will be Tirgha gacchati.
Gachanti.
The form is different. Okay. Okay. The form is different.
Ma'am, once you post the that 20-point simple exam, will you be sending us a notification?
Yes. We will inform you in advance. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Most probably, we are planning to post it on Monday, next Monday. Okay. And we will inform during the class also. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.